This lesson is from Chapter 5, Lesson 2. We're going to talk about dividing decimals by whole numbers. So how can we divide a decimal by a whole number using pictures and base 10 models? So just as a reminder, in decimal world, one flat, which is really 100 cubes put together, represents the whole numbers. In decimal world, a long represents any number in the tenths place value. And in decimal world, 1 cube represents any number that is in the 100th place value. So when I have a problem that says 2 4/10 divided by 4, so a decimal divided by a whole number, my first number is telling me what I'm starting with. What should my picture be starting with? And then the second number is telling me the number of groups I need to split that decimal into. So this 4 is telling me that I need to split 2 4/10 into 4 groups. And my quotient, the answer, is going to be the amount that I have in each group. So let's look at this problem, how we would use base 10 blocks to solve it. So 2 4/10 divided by 4 would be represented by 2 flats, because that is what the whole number 2 is represented by. The whole numbers in decimal world are represented by flats. So I have 2 as my whole number, 2 flats. This 4/10 is represented by 1, 2, 3, 4 longs. So 2 flats and 4 longs represents 2 4/10. And this divided by 4 is telling me that I need to split this picture up into 4 groups or 4 circles. So I'm looking at this 2 4/10, and I can split these longs up. I can go 1 long, 2 long, another long, and another long. But I can't equally put these flats into each group. I don't have 4 flats. So I need to now regroup my flats by replacing them with tenths, which we know would be our longs. We need to replace these flats with longs. So here's what I did. I kind of cashed them in. I put them back in my bucket. I put them away, and then I exchanged for them. I took this flat and I took 10 longs. So I got rid of this flat and I exchanged it. I regrouped it for these 10 longs. I took this flat and I said, you know what? I want 10 longs instead. So now, instead of 2 flats, I split it apart and I have 20 longs, or 20 tenths. So now I can equally split up my decimal, my 2 4/10, because here is my 1 flat, here is my other flat, and then here are the 4 longs that I started with originally. So when I split these up, I put this one here. So I'm just evenly dividing out my longs. So each group is getting the same amount. So now I can move to the next long. And I'm going to keep doing this until I have all of my longs split up. So that's another one. There's another one. So I can go over here. So now I'm working into my next flat, making sure that I'm giving 1 long to each group. Because remember, we're dividing that 2 4/10. So my last 4. And my last one. So my answer is actually going to come from what I have in each circle. So when I look at this in each group, I see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I have 6 in each circle. So I have 6 longs. 6 longs, the longs represent the tenths place value. So really, this is saying 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, 6/10. And I rate 6/10 as 0.6.